Oh, hey you. It's Kat and Steve with the Positively Midwest podcast.
Well, hello there. Now, before this next episode, let's talk about sharing our mission.
To help, we have hooked up with Anchor.fm to help us keep launching Positively Midwest to as many ears as possible. The more we expand our reach, the more lives we can help inspire.
If you haven't heard of Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Bonus, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Well, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, and many more.
You can make money with no minimum listenership, which helps our cause.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in just one place.
So go now, download free Anchor app or go to anchorapp.fm to get started.
Now, sit back and enjoy the next episode of the Positively Midwest podcast. Well, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Positively Midwest podcast. My name is Steve Jurens, and, well, not as typically always, my wife, Catherine, is missing. She is MIA this evening. So I thought that maybe this would be a good time for us to discuss something that is becoming prevalent in my life. And that's what it's about, is engaging each other's thoughts and, keeping it open. So we've always been raw and organic, if you will. So we're going to talk a little bit about depression, and we're going to talk about some antidepressants. So recently, I have, as everyone knows that listens to this, knows I've been going through counseling for, a little over a year and a half or so, and it's been going great, and I can't say enough about that. And, but, I don't know if it's a combination of different things, if there's life changes, if it was because there was a new job, if it was the power of positivity or some of the books that I had read, like Manifest Now, things like that. And all those things, you come off this life high, if you will, about how positive things can be and how great, so on and so forth. And so let's just say, I don't know if the newness wore off or I just wasn't flipping practicing the things that you should be, through some of these. Which leads into why I've started to take some more online courses too, because I'd like to learn how these activities can impact people's lives and find a place to do these things. But what I kept running into basically was that I was finding myself getting a little bit lower and a little bit less focused, a little less motivated. In a lot of different contexts too. So, it's not just a work-related situation, but it's, it's home or it's exercise or getting to the gym or I was doing real great on the meditation, dropping those things. And what the consistent habit ended up being was sitting on my ass and not doing anything, or watching television or, just something like that. I mean, whatever. So last week, I think, if I remember correctly, I went in and talked to my counselor and I said, here's what I don't understand. Somebody who has a podcast called Positively Midwest, somebody who's got a group page and is constantly sharing and reading positive quotes. I mean, I read through a lot of them and, generally save and repost ones that call out to me, and here I'm still feeling, this sense of depression that I felt before. Just not having good thoughts in general. And whether it's beating myself up or it's thinking crappy about, different contexts of my life, whether it was something work-related or at home or my kids or my wife. I mean, just not normal, if there is any normalcy in thoughts. But certainly not what you would consider to be a positive attribute. So I said, well, maybe it's time that we need to look into some kind of, medication, an antidepressant or something. I found myself dealing with some context of anxiety again. Here we just talked about how Catherine and I, jumped out way outside of our comfort zone and emceed this cool event and got on stage and things like that, which, that's a big deal. And now I find myself in this weird, so I'm obviously got some, extrovert in me, but then I find myself like, I don't want to, talk to anybody after work. I don't want to see anybody after work, or, kind of just like this, leave me alone. And I'm always really tired, and, I just want to sleep or lay on the couch and, things like that. So there's obviously some, what do you want to call the symptoms of depression? Excuse me, and take a drink. So, I decided to, if I'm going to take this journey, I want to be open with it, like I have been with the listeners and the followers of Catherine and I on Positively Midwest, and I think we'll continue to rip the Band-Aid off things as they develop in our lives. But I found a really good descriptionary article, if you will, through Cigna.com. They're actually, from what I was researching, are a partner in health and wellness, but they're kind of like an insurance company, but the information is still valid, and it's also backed up by another article at rethink.org that talks about antidepressants too. So I'll post both of those links in the description so that you can click and check it out for yourself. But they have some key points to remember. Taking medicine for your depression can help you get your life back to normal, especially if you also get counseling. So I think, that was the one question, is how can I go through counseling? How can we talk about these exercises? How can I realize situations differently and also have all this positive information at my fingertips, but I'm still having trouble keeping everything on track? But it says if your symptoms are mild, lifestyle changes and counseling may be all that you need. So I think that's where it depends on the context of whatever you're dealing with. If, I guess it just really matters, what you're going through. So you don't need to be ashamed about taking antidepressants. Depression is a health problem and not a character flaw or weakness. The medicines won't change your personality. And that's something that I'm really happy to hear because, as we continue to break down the walls and the stigma of mental health issues and what ways you can overcome them, we're so ashamed about talking about something like that. If you were on an antidepressant and or if you were feeling depressed or having bad thoughts, But one thing to keep in mind is the antidepressants don't work right away, and that you may need to try a few before you find one that works. Side effects are one reason that people stop taking antidepressants, but talk to your doctor, so that's going to be important. After I spoke to my counselor, she recommended that I speak to a doctor, so I've actually got that appointment for Thursday, and then we can talk about that some more in the upcoming episode, if you will. But, then give people an inside look and so they can feel a little bit more comfortable about looking for this for themselves. And I don't know if there is a certain level of depression, and maybe that's what we'll find out with the doctor, that makes getting antidepressants more or less a necessity. But anyways, there's ways to manage side effects, and lowering the dose or changing medicines can also help. The thought of needing to take medicine for a long time can be scary, but many people are able to slowly stop taking antidepressants after a while. So that was something that my counselor had mentioned, is that, this isn't necessarily a permanent thing. Not that some people don't have some form or dosage for extended period of time, but it could be, a year and you're off. So there's some frequently asked questions they have, like, are you depressed? And I like how they talk. The symptoms of depression include a loss of interest in daily activities, or feeling sad or hopeless, and having at least 4 of the following symptoms: a change in eating patterns that cause either weight gain or weight loss, sleeping too much or too little, feeling restless and unable to sit still, or feeling that moving takes a great effort, feeling tired all the time, feeling unworthy or guilty without an obvious reason, having problems concentrating, remembering, or making decisions, and thinking often about death or suicide. So I can tell you that for sure at one point in my life, all of those were going on, if not at one time. But when I am feeling this sense of depression, I can feel, majority of those, and it's all at one time. And I think that's when you get really low. And today is a good day. The last couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks maybe, have continued to be, this sort of decline. And so today I'd like to say I'm having a better day. I'm feeling more motivated, and I was able to get some things accomplished. So I recently now have finished getting a certification, if you will, from the Science of Happiness through Berkeley. Just finished that this last weekend, and having a better understanding of what happiness practices are and breaking down the science of happiness, I think can make us more proactive, And so where I see this helping some people is if you are considering counseling, and maybe you're going to counseling, or maybe you have a pretty set level of happiness already, but you'd like to get a little bit more motivated, or a little less anxious, or a little less stress. There's so many different customized ways that we can help you put something together that works for you. And, you try that over, 6 or 8 weeks, and you'd be surprised what kind of difference it can make. And then in my case, specifically, I guess, because we're all different, I can tell you for sure I didn't apply myself as much as I could have with some of these practices. And I know that would make a difference. But when your mind's not there, when it's not balanced, to tackle these things, or you almost in a sense don't want to get better. It's just weird. I don't even know if I'm explaining myself correctly there, but that's where hopefully this helps correct that chemical imbalance. So in general, antidepressants increase the level of certain chemicals in the brain. These chemicals are called neurotransmitters. This helps improve communication between brain cells over time, which can help you feel better. There are several kinds of antidepressants. There is no evidence that one works better than another, but the side effects are different. Antidepressants don't change your personality, they help your symptoms. You don't need to be ashamed about taking antidepressants. Depression is a real health problem, not a character flaw or weakness. So most people are able to find an antidepressant that helps with their depression, but you may have to try a few before you find the one that works for you. The right medicine is one that helps your symptoms and has the fewest side effects. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You may start to feel better within 1 to 3 weeks after you start taking an antidepressant, but you may need to take it for as long as 6 to 8 weeks to see more improvement. It's best to keep taking your medicine for at least 6 months after you feel better. If this is not the first time you have been depressed, your doctor may want you to take these medicines even longer. The thought of needing to take medicine for a long time can be scary, but many people are able to slowly stop taking. All right, that was repetitive, but antidepressants can change how you feel and respond in certain situations, but they don't change who you are. You may feel more relaxed, more social, more assertive, and more outgoing when you are taking an antidepressant. Depression treated only with antidepressants and not also with therapy is more likely to come back later. So I think you can see that's why we would still be a proponent of counseling, and just the process of talking shit out sometimes with somebody makes a huge difference. Another little drink there out of my Positively Midwest podcast water bottle, available at positivelymidwest.com. So, side effects. Most antidepressants cause minor side effects that can go away or improve in the first few weeks of treatment. If you keep taking your medicine, there is a good chance that you will start to feel less depressed and that the side effects will decrease. Most people feel that the benefits of antidepressants are well worth the price of living with some side effects. Side effects may vary depending on the medicine you take, but common ones include nausea, dry mouth, loss of appetite, diarrhea or constipation, sexual problems, loss of desire, erection problems, headaches, trouble falling asleep or waking up a lot during the night, weight gain, feeling nervous or on edge, feeling drowsy in the daytime. Now, in my personal opinion, it certainly feels like some of those could cause more problems than the actual depression itself, but that's where you need to continue to speak with your doctor, and you got to find the medicine that works best for you. and take that as it goes. But some side effects may not go away, but usually there are ways to manage them. Talk with your doctor on how to manage side effects. Problems with sexual arousal and lack of interest in sex are common side effects. If this happens to you, talk to your doctor. There are other medicines that may help with these problems. Women who take an SSRI during pregnancy have a slightly higher chance of having a baby with birth defects. But not treating depression can also cause problems during pregnancy and birth. If you are pregnant, you or your doctor must weigh the risks of taking an SSRI against the risks of not treating depression. So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued an advisory on antidepressant medicines and the risk of suicide. Talk to your doctor about these possible side effects and the warning signs of suicide. So I would have to only speculate that if you are consistently contemplating suicide, that's probably where it's very imperative that you need to seek professional help. And not that they wouldn't put you on some kind of prescription, but I highly doubt that you could go into a doctor and say, hey, I'm thinking about killing myself. Can I have some antidepressants? Knowing that it can take weeks for that to take effect, if you ever were suicidal, they're going to get you help immediately anyway. So, but with counseling, it's an important part of the treatment for depression. The types of counseling most often used for treatment of depression include cognitive behavioral therapy, which teaches you how to become healthier by changing certain thought and behavior problems. Interpersonal therapy, which focuses on your relationships and the problems they may be causing. Problem-solving therapy, which focuses on the problems you are facing and on helping you find solutions. And family therapy, which involves the entire family. Lifestyle changes you may be able to make that may help your depression symptoms. Of course, a lot of these are talked about in most any health and wellness. It's like 101. Eat healthy foods, don't drink alcohol, get regular exercise, get a good night's sleep, get social support from friends and family, try to keep a positive attitude. Remember that feeling better takes time and your mood will improve little by little. So don't always eat healthy foods. I certainly drink alcohol. I go to the gym Monday through Friday, but I know I could maximize myself more. I get a pretty decent night's sleep, at least 7. Don't have trouble going to sleep generally. But then I wonder, because I'm overweight and I snore ridiculously loud, that maybe I don't have a good quality night's sleep. I'm not sure. I don't want to take that test, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, you got to wear one of these CPAP things, and yeah. Anyways, get social support from friends or family. Certainly, there's some that I can't. So that's another situation. And trying to keep a positive attitude. Now, the one thing we've talked about with depression and positivity and all those things is that you cannot be positive all the time. So you got to feel those feelings, and you've got to know that it's going to be okay and that you're going to come out of it. And I think I know that now more than ever, where who knows where the last few weeks could have been had I not had some of the practices I have, had I not continued to be able to go to therapy, and sometimes life will compile. A lot of times in your life, it just compiles on top of each other, and it will F you up. And there's not a whole lot you can do except to find help. And I know there's people that don't go to therapy very often, but I think even if you go once a month or every so often and do this purge, if you will, that really helps. But besides counseling and lifestyle changes, there are some other treatments you can try. Alternative treatments such as massage therapy and yoga may help you get better faster and make your life better. You can try relaxation exercises at home to lower your stress. Complementary therapies are sometimes used for depression. Talk to your doctor before taking any of them because they can interfere with your other medicines. Electroconvulsive therapy. Electroconvulsive. Wow. May be used to treat severe depression or depression that hasn't responded well to other treatment. It also may be a treatment choice for someone who cannot live with the side effects of antidepressants. Holy smoke. So, complementary medicine is treatment and medicine that you use in addition to your doctor's standard care. The word complementary means in addition to in this case. It includes mind and body practices like acupuncture, natural health products like dietary supplements, and alternative health approaches like traditional Chinese medicine and homeopathic options. So that is from Cigna.com, CIGNA, and I thought that was pretty spot on with how I had felt, what I'd been going through, and things of that nature. So if you are to go to rethink.org, there is a antidepressants fact sheet that you can actually download, which is nice. I think anytime you can, you can get that information that's readily available for people, and, it makes them feel like, oh, that was really easy to take in, so there's the fact sheet covers what are antidepressants, are there different types, are there side effects, well, what if I want to stop taking them? Do antidepressants affect other medication? Does alcohol affect my antidepressants? Can I drive? What else should I consider when taking antidepressants? So, I think that is that's a very good sheet. So, we'll probably have to implement that somehow in our little situation. But, anyways, as I talk a little bit here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of antidepressants. So I know a lot of people are familiar with Prozac, Cipralex, Cypramil, Favorin, Seroxat, Lustrol. So I know 100 years ago I was on Lexapro, so I don't even see that on here. But along with panic attack pills that I was on, I'm not sure what those were. I totally abused the crap out of those panic attack pills, that's for sure. And then the antidepressants, I'm sure I just, I don't know, my mind wasn't prepared for something like that. I'm not sure, So, anyways, that is what currently is going on in the life of Steve Jurgens, as I'm doing a solo episode this week, number 81, actually, of Positively Midwest. We still, believe it or not, we still appreciate the heck out of every one of you. And we appreciate the affirmations and the messages and just being a part of our community. I hope it continues to grow. I'm continuing to grow. Thinking about where we're at from where we started this little mission or little endeavor, over a year and a half ago. It's just, it's pretty crazy and it's awesome. So I can't believe that there's people that want to listen to what I have to say and, share it with your friends and stuff, because that's what it's all about. And we just want to help be a very small part of what changes the world, or at least our surrounding community. So thank you all for all of that. And I think we're going to keep this episode short and sweet, which is probably what people are liking nowadays anyways. So, but when we get into having some really good episodes, man, I can't guarantee you if we're rocking and rolling and it's all emotional up in here that we're not going to have ourselves some long episodes. But if you really appreciate what we're doing and how we do it, then I think you're down. So, All right. Well, thank you guys. And I'm going to wrap this baby up by myself and see how we roll. Ooh, yeah. All right, well, thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for listening to the Positively Midwest podcast. Our hope, as always, is to inspire, engage each other's thoughts, and leave you some great advice. Please be sure to join our Facebook group and follow us on Instagram at Positively Midwest Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, and screenshot our podcast with all of your cool friends, because every little bit helps. We are on most all major platforms, and you can stream it on our website at positivelymidwest.com. Also, check out our merch in the online store. All proceeds go to help those in need. Find therapy or rehab. Please reach out to us at positivelymidwest@gmail.com if you'd like to look into therapy or rehab or have questions or anything. And thank you. And as always, please always stay positive. We appreciate you.